time, I just want to continue in a spirit of worship. You know, when we come into worship, we come and we bring songs, we bring our tithes, we bring our offerings, we bring ourselves, but we're also called to bring testimony and just continuing in that area of worship. I want to ask our Alaska team that went to Alaska, the folks from Alaska, if you guys could come up at this time, that would be great. I want to give you the opportunity just to share what God did on this trip. I know that there was a lot of folks praying for you, a lot of people supporting you in different ways, and we're excited to hear about what God did on this trip. I know that you had, an adventure getting there for some of you. I know that you had some good times while you were there, and we also know that God did some amazing things, so we're excited to hear about it. I wonder, Ethan, if you could tell us about where you were and kind of the location that you were and what you had to do to get there.
Well, there was Tetlin Village. It's kind of like inland a lot, and it was like a 9-hour bus ride there from Anchorage. And it was 22-mile, like an icy driveway to get in there through the mountains and stuff. And that took us like all evening to get in there. It was dark by the time we got in there. But it's like 18,000 miles that they have and stuff.
That's a big area. And how many people were in the village that you were at?
It's like 100 people in the village.
About 100 people. And what were the conditions like that you guys stayed in?
I liked it a lot.
You liked it a lot?
It was really dry.
Yeah?
I could walk around in just like a t-shirt and the Under Armour stuff in like 22 degrees because it was so dry and wasn't windy or anything.
Now, at some point, it was like -11. Did that bother you at any time?
We were asleep.
You were asleep when it was that cold. Okay. Emery, you had an interesting time getting there. There were some hiccups along the way. Were you guys okay?
Yeah, we took us, I think, a total of 39 hours to get from Jacksonville to Anchorage.
Wow.
So it was a fun
bonding
time.
experience there.
Yeah, made a ton of new friends that were all irritated as well. And
now, this wasn't your first trip to Alaska. This was, how many times have you been there?
This was my fourth.
Fourth time to the
Yes.
same village?
I've been to the village 3 times, twice in the spring and once in the fall.
So how do the people receive you there? Do they remember you from the times before?
Well, we went with Royal, and they've been sending groups up there for, I think, seven years, and a lot of the same people. So they've built a lot of relationships with people, and, I mean, the times I've been up there, I have friends there that I keep in touch with and stuff. So it's really cool. They all came out, the ones that we're friends with, and met us when we drove in that night and hung out with us the whole week. And it was their spring break while we were there, so there was less people in the village than normal, but they were free. All the kids were free all day compared to being in school till 3 or so o'clock.
So did that allow some good ministry time with them?
So we actually got to spend more time with them, and we had pretty much free reign of the gym and everything to use, which was good.
Very good. Let me. You had some ministry time with some of the children. What was your role there, and how did you work with the children that were there?
Well, I was there to give the object lessons and just to share with the kids about the gospel. And so what we did was we would run around with them and we'd play with them and get them all excited, and then we'd sit them down and I'd give an object lesson, and it was amazing. They listened. I had never seen them this focused and this just like calm. I had never seen them sit down like that, just so quick. It was amazing.
What was the response to the objects lessons like that? About how many kids were there? And
so we had about 25-ish, 23, something like that, kids. And they ranged from 5 to, I guess if you count Vernon, 23, but he's not really a kid. Late teens, yeah. And the response was really good. A lot of the kids were a lot more talkative this time, and they were more open to talk about spiritual things. Yeah. Like I got a lot of questions from a lot of the lower kids about prayer and stuff, and it was a lot more fellowshipping, a lot more talking going on than them just kind of run around wild, and so it was great. It showed how God was working in the village through us, and it was really encouraging.
Very good. How did Tay? How did do you have some free time while you were there in the village? Were y'all able to go do some interesting things?
Yes. With the little girls, they would come into our tribal hall. That's where we were staying, and they would paint my nails like 5 times a day. And we would go play in the snow outside and take walks and face paint. It was really fun.
Very good.
What?
Oh, and was there something else?
Yeah. We on like the last day, there's this guy there, and he has a bunch of dogs, and we got to ride on his dog sled. And it was really fun. We went like down to the basketball court and I had to learn how to
I
like.
heard that the dogs they had a special talent that they could speak.
Oh, they were talking. Yeah, it was weird.
I think,
One was saying, "Oh yeah."
oh, was
They were saying, "Oh yeah."
What did it sound like?
Oh, well, it was just like this dog was just screaming. He was like, oh yeah, like he would just scream the whole time. It was so funny.
I had to make you do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That he was possessed. So
Yeah. Well, that's a different
it
story, I
makes
guess.
sense.
And so at night, tell us what kind of as the day went. Would you help prepare the meals? What was going on? You would eat, and then after that, what happened?
We would make dinner, invite everyone to come to dinner at 6, and then they would eat, and then we would have like fellowship, and we would all sing and play our instruments.
Did y'all help with that, leading the worship?
Yeah, we all did. Yeah.
Very good.
And then Wes, he preached to them and told them a message. And then Carrie and all of us took the kids to the gym, and we played with them in the gym. And then he told the lesson, and then we played more with them that night.
Awesome. Well, this is just a question for all of you. What did you see God do while you were there? Was there any kind of spiritual decisions? What?
The last night, they had, I believe, 4 people accepted Christ.
Oh, praise the Lord.
And there's a lot of older people in the village that are believers and stuff, but there's not that young couples and with kids and stuff. There's not a lot of them that are Christians. And I think all of the ones that accepted Christ were in that age
Wow.
group. And one of the guys who accepted Christ is actually being considered to be their next chief because the chief they have now has
That would be
got cancer and
huge.
is real sick. Oh, it'd be real huge. And so that was really cool because that's something that they've been praying for a long time, is people in that age group that are kind of upcoming leaders in the community.
Did it feel like there was a different feeling there than times you've been before? Was there a different spirit? Did you feel like God was moving?
It felt the first time I went up there, you could just feel it was real dark and just depressing and stuff. And it's definitely, every time I've been, it's been better
God
in
is
that
so
aspect.
good. God is so. Anybody else? Anything specifically that God did? Maybe God did in your own life, or
Yeah, when I was just talking with the kids, like I said, they were a lot more open, and that just hit me because the first time we went, we only saw like 3 kids there. Then they never came out. We didn't do anything with them, and then that was in 2010, and then last March, I saw more kids when we hung out with them, and then in August it was a lot better, but this time it was just amazing. And just being able to see the kids and just know that they have dreams. They're real kids. They don't know where they can go with it and what they can do with God's mercy and grace. And they just, I just really, that impacted me.
praise the Lord. And was there another time of fun that you guys had, or I don't want to cut you off. I mean, if you want to share anything else about that, but was there another time of fun that y'all had that you want to share? Did anything?
Yeah, when we drove back to Anchorage after we were done with the village, and the next day we got to go skiing, which was really fun.
Very good.
He had to go back with United.
Anything else you guys want to share? No, we're good.
That was fun.
We had a puppet show.
Oh yeah, the puppet show. I mean, the stage fell down. They couldn't hear us. They didn't think it was that funny.
So everything went great.
Yeah, it was great.
Good.
Dallas thought it was hilarious.
Dallas was cracking up the whole time, but I mean, the rest of them.
Well, good. Well, thank you for sharing, and we're excited about what God's doing there in the village. Thank you very much.
Like so.